Donald Trump today called for a temporary ban on immigrants from countries with a proven history of terrorism. The Republican nominee also renewed his call for increased surveillance of Mosque during an interview with Fox and Friends this morning.
We have to be very strong with our military, with our security. We have to be extremely strong. We have to be very strong in terms of looking at the mosques, which a lot of people say, oh, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We're beyond that.
Joining us now, Fox News Middle East and terrorism analyst, Dr. Waleed Phares. He's also a foreign policy advisor to Donald Trump. Waleed, great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Let's turn to first the president's refusal to use the words radical Islamists, the term. He came up with this extraordinary concoction, which he referred to as homegrown extremism. Words that mean nothing. And he uses it with great enthusiasm, which suggests he wants to convey nothing. Your thoughts?
Well, he just tried to explain that the perpetrator of the massacre yesterday was inspired by these extremist ideas online and stopped. So what are these extremist ideas?
Right.
It looks like there is a bridge 7 miles long and nobody in his administration is able to explain. Just cite a couple goals. That's all what we need to know. That's all what the 330 million Americans would like to know. How to recognize a jihadist. You have to explain it, Mr. President.
Yeah, and radical Islamists. I've been using that term on this broadcast since early 2012, after we did a lot of on-air, in fact, discussion about terms and terminology to define the enemy, whether it be the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, whomever it might be. And those were the words that were of utility then, according to the best minds covering and studying Islam, Arab scholars, and those working in Middle East studies. Why is it this president has such a resistance to the terms?
That's the question of the century. I mean, Lou, you were pioneering. You met with these experts, and they told you clearly that worldwide, academically, not politically correct, but academically, these are the terms. I have news for you. Last year, I was in Egypt, the largest Arab Muslim Sunni country, and I met with the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Sheikh Tayyib. So he's the equivalent of the Pope of the Sunnis. Guess what does he call these terrorists? Islamists, jihadists, Salafists, extremists. If the leadership of the Arab and Muslim world in Jordan, in Egypt, in Lebanon, in Morocco, everywhere, they call them with these terms, why is it that the leader of America is not calling them with the same terms?
And the reaction to those folks that you talk with overseas, whether they be Sunni, Shia, wherever they may be throughout the Muslim world, to Donald Trump's speech today?
Well, look, there is this whole propaganda idea, which is manufactured by the enemies or the opponents of Mr. Trump, that, oh boy, the whole world is going crazy, that Mr. Trump is triggering some sort of clash of civilization, and we are in the Arab media almost every day. And what many of these decision makers, opinion makers in the Gulf, in Egypt, in North Africa, elsewhere, are saying that we need a change in your policy. We need the United States policy to change so that we can stop the Iran deal, as Mr. Trump has said in his speech, that we stop the influence of the Muslim Brotherhood, that we crush ISIS. So they are very in favor of a change, and that would only come with a Trump administration.
Dr. Waleed Phares, always good to talk with you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate
Thank you, Lou.
Dr. Waleed Phares. Be sure to vote in our poll tonight. The question is, should any American be surprised that we haven't defeated an enemy that President Obama will not even name and will not fight? Cast your vote on Twitter at Lou Dobbs. A reminder, by the way, as I say, follow me on Twitter at Lou Dobbs, like me on Facebook and Instagram at Lou Dobbs Tonight. Links to everything found at loudobbs.com. It was this president who more than 2 years ago said that he would degrade and destroy the Islamic State. Up next, Donald Trump today taking credit for Hillary Clinton finally saying the words radical Islam.
Hillary Clinton, for months and despite so many attacks, repeatedly refused to even say the words radical Islam until I challenged her yesterday. And guess what? She will probably say them. She sort of has said them.
The importance of naming the enemy, part of what I'll talk about tonight in my commentary. Much more straight ahead, including whether or not Donald Trump deserves credit for this shift in the language of one Hillary Clinton. We'll take that up here next. Stay with us.